Hey everybody, it's your friend Craedon Rountree. Just got back from reffing a blown out soccer game. It was crazy. A couple of these heavy hitters got into it and they started fighting and they started throwing punches and yelling obscenities, and I came out and I red carded them both. I said, that's it, we're not playing that no more. Well, next thing you know, they turn on me. They threatened to get their biker buddies, and they were going to follow me home, and they were going to show me a thing or two, and cussing and swearing the whole way. And I said, well, first of all, you're not going to follow me home because you're 7 years old and you can't drive, and I can outrun you. Anyway, it got me thinking, back in my early days when I was in radio, I had an apprenticeship in engineering at a radio station back in Montana. Back in them days, well heck, I don't even think cassettes came out. They had the vinyl 45s and LPs and albums and all that. And well, what would happen was if the DJs wanted a longer break than the 45s gave them, 45s is a minute and a half, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and well, if we didn't have any kind of music that would last for a period of time, a long EP, LP, the longer disc albums, if we didn't have one, we had a special room that we would go and we would make them. We would make our own LPs, and I'm going to show you how we did that. I'm just going to kind of give you a little precursor to it. First of all, they had a room, and it had a press. It had all kinds of chemicals and things that they would take, and they would make these LPs. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to set up the same principle here, and show you some of the formula that we use to make LPs out of 45s. So stick around and we'll see if this works out. Okay, now just so you understand, these are some of the similar items that we use, but back then we had industrial kind of thing that they had mainly for this purpose. But now I'm just going to show you some of the things we have. I've got a regular old box. You don't really need a fancy box. You just need some cardboard, something to contain your mess. Now I've got 4 45s for you youngsters. That's a 45. Okay, you're gonna need 4. If you do less than 4, then you're not gonna have a full size LP. So make sure you have 4. Now you're gonna need to have some plumber's tape. You're gonna have to take a piece, put it on the inside of the label on each one. Okay. Just set it aside. A little plumber's tape on each, the label on each side. I think back then they had something that was similar. It might not have been plumber's tape, but it was a Teflon coated, and that was back in the 70s, 60s. No, I'm not going to give you too many clues. You get that on each one of them. Set that aside. Now the next step is going to be messy. So if you don't like messes, then you better don't do it or look away. One of the two. That piece came off. Okay, so now I got some bearing grease, lithium general purpose. You're going to take a dollop and set that on each one of them. You're going to coat it, put it on the tape there, keep that tape down, and just put a dollop on it. Now I'll show you here in a minute. Okay, have a rag handy. So what you got now, this is what it's going to look like. That's your tape. Now what you're going to do is you're going to stack them. You're going to stack them like this, and it's okay if you smooth them around, if you twist them, it's okay. It's actually better. You just don't need the tape on top or bottom. So now you're going to round them together like this. You kind of get it on there, get on them labels. Okay, so now you should have, okay, and they should be pretty well stuck together. Now, I know you're thinking that looks like a whole lot of work. Well, it was, but it was worth it in the long run. So now we're going to take some off, deep woods off, any kind of bug repellent, and you're going to spray it. Spray it top and bottom. Don't be shy. Now we're going to set that we're going to set that inside like this, see? Okay, so we got it in there. Now I've got some Ace pruning seal. Ooh, and it's black. Get that in there. We've got some Elmer's Bond, craft bond. Now, any type of glue, but you want a spray sort, some kind of a spray glue. It's a lot easier. It covers more than you need. Then we also have some tile and shower cleaner. Get that in there. Got some Go Shine. It's a high gloss. It's for like you waxing your car, your bike, whatever. Spray a little of that in there. 2 squirts is what I use. Okay. We got all this set up. Now we're gonna have to put a heat source to it. And what that does, the molecules get heated up, but we're not done with that. Now, next step, I'm going to have to put this on the floor, and you can already, oh, you can feel heat. Now, I'll tell you something. I'm gonna set this up on the floor, and I want you to just hang on. But I got to get my jacket on in case this thing goes up. I got to be ready to run. So, hang tight. Okay. Now, this next step, you have to put some major heat on this for all of the chemicals to combine. And you need some pressure. Now, like I say, back in the day, we had a special room that had a press, but this is going to have to suffice for what I got going on now. Okay. And you take some lighter fluid and spray it on in there. Now, while it's cooking up, we have to put some pressure on it, and we got to combine those records to make one. Now, let me show you. You want to make sure that you don't have any sort of gas around this flame for very long. Okay, now we gotta figure a way of putting that out, and then we gotta let it sit and warm up and cool off, and then you'll see what we got. Now I'm gonna park on her. So now you want to make sure that there's no flames around any of your building or any of your gas or motor. So stay around. But with that weight on there and that heat, this should turn out. So we're gonna let it sit for a while, and we'll come back. And we'll see how she done. Okay, there you are. Okay, we'll be right back. Hey friends, we just got done having lunch and got me an otter pop. You ought to try one. I like the grapes. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this, and I hope it turned out. I'm going to set this here. Okay. Now, I don't know. Please show me some grace. I don't know if it's going to turn out. Haven't tried it in a while. By all intents and purposes, it should turn out. Now, thank God we didn't have any fires. I kept an eye on things till I knew it was safe. But with all that pressure, the heat, and everything, it should make sure it's not still burning when you go to test it. Oh, yeah, there's still a little bit of goo on it, but it turned out pretty good. Now you can take a rag and wipe that excess off, and you should be able to put that on, and who knows what you're going to hear. It's varying of probably all 45 or all those 45s that we put on there, but there's your full size album, and that's going to be well, probably half hour to 45 minutes of listening pleasure. So okay, that's how you do it. That's how you make a vinyl LP, EP, extended play, long play, out of 4 45s, and it even has the own hole in it, and it's just a combination of all the things that we've done to it. So I hope you can learn something from it, and I hope you can use that in your repertoire and put that in your tool belt. Okay, you guys take care. Remember, somebody's always watching when you sleep. Be good to yourself, be good to each other.